In this video, we will discuss how to identify the main idea and supporting details of a passage. In this instance, we'll be looking at a paragraph, but you can use the same strategies to identify the main idea of a longer passage, such as in an essay or an article. The first step is to identify the topic. You want to find the word or words that appear over and over throughout the entire passage. So let's go ahead and take a look at this particular paragraph. College students are required to do a lot of reading in their courses. This task is made easier when they use these 3 steps to quickly identify the main idea of the passage. The first way to identify the main idea is to find the topic. The topic is the subject of the paragraph. You can find it by identifying the word or words found most in the paragraph. The next step is finding signal words. Signal words like first, next, and another point to major details, which then point to the main idea. The third way to identify the main idea is to look for keywords like 4 steps, a number of reasons, or a couple of blanks. The sentence with words similar to these will be the main idea, which we refer to as the topic sentence in a paragraph and the thesis in an essay. Depending on the type of reading, you may use one or all 3 strategies to find the main idea. In this particular passage, we see 2 different words or phrases repeated over and over again. The first is identify. Even though identify or identifying are only used 3 times in the passage, the author uses synonyms to get the same idea across in other sentences, including the words find and point. The other phrase that is used multiple times throughout the paragraph is main idea. So just based on this very first step, we might go ahead and guess that the topic is to identify the main idea. Step 2. You want to use the signal words to point to the major details. Sometimes the main idea is a little more difficult to find than the individual major details. So we can use the major details to clue us in to the main idea. In this case, the signal words are the first way, the next step, and the third way. You don't want to confuse the signal words with the actual major details themselves. The signal words simply point to the major details. Lastly, you want to identify any keywords. The keywords, if there are any, will oftentimes identify the main idea of the entire passage. In this case, we see the keyword 3 steps in the second sentence. So using those 3 steps, the topic, signal words, and keywords, are we able to figure out what is the main idea? Go ahead and take a moment or 2 to guess which sentence you think encompasses the main idea. In this case, it seems to be that this task is made easier when they use these 3 steps to quickly identify the main idea of the passage. Or to put it in our own words, this passage is about 3 particular steps to find the main idea in a reading passage. Now you want to double check your answers. Is this paragraph about 3 ways to identify the main idea? Well, if we look back at the major details, the first major detail is the first way to identify the main idea is to find the topic. The second major detail is the next step is finding signal words. And the last major detail is the third way to identify the main idea is to look for keywords. It does seem to say that this paragraph is about the 3 ways to identify the main idea. So yes, we're right. Now before we end, we just want to discuss very quickly the difference between major and minor details. A paragraph or even an essay operates in a hierarchy. The main idea, whether it be thesis or topic sentence, is the very most important piece that you need to take away. The second major piece is major details. If you don't understand anything else, you want to look at the major details. Now the minor details are the smallest, teeniest facts and details that if you took them away, you'd still understand the basic gist of the passage. So in this case, we see in the aqua green the 3 sets of major details. Now each set of these major details has its own minor details. These minor details support the major details. In this case, the first way to identify the main idea is to find the topic. Well, the 2 following sentences, the topic is the subject of the paragraph. You can find it by identifying the words found most in the paragraph. They support that sentence in green. Let's go ahead and look at the next major detail. The next major detail is the next step is finding signal words. In this case, the author includes a little bit more detail about that, and its signal words like first, next, and another point to major details, which then point to the main idea. The last major detail is also shown in green here. And the author gives us a little bit more information about these keywords. It says the sentence with words similar to these will be the main idea, which we refer to as the topic sentence in a paragraph and the thesis in an essay. If we took all of the minor details away, you would still understand the general gist of the passage. And this is the end of the video on how to find main ideas.